From financial fraud to literally shooting oneself in the foot, the Spanish royal family has more drama than your grandma's favorite soap opera. So how does its current reigning monarch feel about his fam? King Felipe VI inherited his father's throne sooner than expected when, towards the end of a nearly 40-year reign, the reputation of his father, Juan Carlos I, was left in tatters. Juan Carlos's daughter, Infanta Cristina, and his son-in-law, Iñaki Urdangarin, were accused of corruption and financial fraud. Although he denied any part in the scandal, former King Juan Carlos lost the trust of his people, as well as the trust of his own family. His reputation worsened when he went on an expensive elephant hunting trip to Botswana during a period of financial instability in Spain. Unable to repair his wrongdoings, Juan Carlos abdicated the throne, and in 2014, Felipe became the new king of Spain.
It's nothing against the people, it's against the Spanish government. They've crossed a red line 1, 2, 3 times again.
Juan Carlos moved to the United Arab Emirates in 2020 and began living in exile. Since the abdication, his relationship with Felipe appears to have become quite strained. During his 2020 Christmas address, King Felipe appeared to confirm their rocky relationship when he directed veiled criticism at his father, saying that ethical principles are above all other considerations, including personal or family ones. Furthermore, Felipe put an end to his father's annual stipend, and in an attempt to distance himself from his father's controversial legacy, even refused to accept an inheritance offered to him by Juan Carlos. Despite the tension that has characterized the relationship between King Felipe and former King Juan Carlos, there have been signs that suggest reconciliation between the father and son. Though Felipe and Juan Carlos are not often seen together in public due to Juan Carlos's self-exile, they were photographed in an embrace when they reunited at the funeral of King Constantine of Greece in January 2023. Although they were not sitting together for the service, they shared a sweet moment that, regardless of their past, demonstrated the fondness they share for each other. King Felipe has always seemed to maintain some measure of respect for his father, even when the reputation of Juan Carlos was at its lowest. In January 2015, about 6 months after he assumed the throne, Felipe gave a speech at the military ceremony of Pascua Militar, in which he shared kind words towards his father and former king. In this speech to the troops, Felipe not only honored the Spanish military, but also honored his father, saying, "To him I also dedicate on this day the homage of gratitude and respect that he deserves from all of us." Like many fathers and sons, their relationship seems complex, and yet they have never given up on the chance for reconciliation. For years, the marriage between Queen Felipe VI and Queen Letizia has been viewed as a ray of sunshine amidst the scandals of their relatives. Their love story began when Letizia was still known as Letizia Ortiz Rocasolano and worked as a TV journalist. After Felipe asked their mutual friend, journalist Pedro Erquicia, to introduce them in October 2002, the two began dating in secret. In 2003, they made their fairy tale story known to the public by announcing their engagement. In May 2004, the two were married in Madrid in a ceremony held at the beautiful Almudena Cathedral. Both the world and King Felipe have fallen in love with Queen Letizia. Whenever the royal couple makes a public appearance, alone or accompanied by their two daughters, Princesses Leonor and Sofia, they receive praise for the way their own distinct fashion styles still seem to complement each other. And the two seem to enjoy experimenting with what they wear as a couple, as they occasionally step out in matching power suits that make quite a statement. But this power couple has their soft moments too, when, in early August 2023, they were photographed gazing lovingly at each other after a family dinner. After all these years, these two royals appeared to be still very much in love.
An eventful day for two little girls, 7-year-old Sophia and 8-year-old Leonor, who's now the youngest heir to the throne in Europe.
Crown Princess Leonor, the future Queen of Spain, was born in October 2005 to parents who adored her from the beginning. Their love was obvious to all when they lovingly carried her in their arms as they left the hospital. As Princess Leonor grew up, King Felipe chose only the best education for his daughter. She attended the same private school as he had, and in 2021, when she was 15 years old, she enrolled in the prestigious Welsh boarding school UWC Atlantic College. King Felipe and Queen Letizia personally paid the $92,700 required for their daughter to attend. Infanta Sofia was born in April 2007 and became second in line to the throne when her grandfather, Juan Carlos, abdicated. Following in the footsteps of her sister and father, Sofia has received the finest education. In August 2023, she relocated to the Vale of Glamorgan in Wales, where she now attends UWC Atlantic College for their International Baccalaureate program. When Crown Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia are not in school, they are attending to royal duties or spending time with their tight-knit family. The princesses may come from royalty, but they also know how to have fun with their family, and this was evident when they joined their parents and grandmother at the cinema to take part in the 2023 summer trend of seeing Barbie dressed in pink. They were all smiles. If the Spanish royal inheritance didn't follow the tradition of male preference primogeniture, the Spanish throne may have passed on to King Felipe VI's oldest sister, Infanta Elena. What-ifs aside, in the years since Felipe inherited the throne, he and Elena have not appeared to share a particularly warm relationship. When her father was the King of Spain, Elena played a significant role as a working royal and appeared to enthusiastically embrace her responsibilities of representing the royal family. However, this all changed when Felipe assumed the throne in 2014, and she no longer held the status of working royal, or the stipend that came with it. According to El País magazine, Elena has since distanced herself from her brother and his family in the years following this change, reflecting her unhappiness with her diminished position. In addition, the public has noticed that Queen Letizia appears to make efforts to limit contact between her daughters and her sisters-in-law. Express claimed that Letizia does not want Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia to follow the frivolous lifestyles of their aunts Elena and Cristina and their children. Though Felipe has not personally commented on this, it is a potential reason for the reportedly distant relationship between the royal brother and sister. Taking center stage of the royal household's many scandals is the controversy surrounding King Felipe's sister, Infanta Cristina. The second child of Juan Carlos and Queen Sofia, Cristina's troubles began when she married businessman and former Olympian Iñaki Erndegarin in October 1997. A little over a decade later, in 2011, they brought scandal to the royal family when Erndegarin was accused of diverting funds from his nonprofit to his own private accounts. Cristina, who faced 8 years in prison, was accused of collaborating with him. This scandal did a great deal of damage to the reputation of the Spanish royal family, aside from resulting in Juan Carlos's abdication. As King Felipe took the throne, his sister and brother-in-law were facing the courts. In June 2015, Cristina's fall from grace resulted in Felipe making the decision to take away her title of the Duchess of Palma de Mallorca, which was given to her when she married Erndegarin in 1997. Though Cristina was acquitted during her trial, her husband, from whom she has since separated, was sentenced to 6 years and 3 months for embezzlement, tax evasion, and fraud. Like her father, Cristina no longer lives in Spain. She now resides in Geneva, Switzerland. King Felipe's father and sister are not the only family members to find themselves in the center of a public scandal. Another relationship that seems to be under stress is the one between Felipe and his nephew, Felipe Juan Froilán, who is simply referred to as Froilán in Spain. Froilán is the son of King Felipe's oldest sister, Infanta Elena, and her ex-husband, Jaime de Marichalar. The string of scandals began in 2012 when the 13-year-old shot himself quite literally in the foot with a firearm that was illegal for him to carry. Froilán did further damage to his already shaky reputation when he reportedly used a racial slur against a student and struggled academically, which led him to repeat a year of classes. Froilán has reportedly reportedly been involved in several physical altercations, including one in April 2022 in which he was punched in the face after a reported attempt to skip the line for the bathroom. Another occurred in Madrid in December 2022 and involved his alleged role in a knife fight outside of a nightclub, for which he faced the threat of prison. Needless to say, this young royal has given King Felipe quite the challenge as he tries to manage the House of Bourbon's future. Furlan now lives with his grandfather, Juan Carlos, in the United Arab Emirates. He remains fourth in line for the throne. Though it may seem like every relationship within the Spanish royal family is fraught with tension, King Felipe VI and his daughters appear to share a bond that many parents, royal or not, can surely relate to. The year 2023 represented an important transitional period for both of Felipe's daughters that seemed to stir the emotions of everyone involved. At the beginning of August, Crown Princess Leonor took a major step forward in her life as a young royal when her family dropped her off at the General Military Academy of Zaragoza. This represented the first step in a 3-year program in which Princess Leonor will spend time with the Navy, as well as the General Air Force. Dressed in his own military uniform, King Felipe could be seen giving Leonor a bittersweet embrace as they said goodbye. He then watched with a clear look of pride as his eldest, and heir presumptive, rolled her suitcase away. Waving to her family, the young royal confidently walked into the next chapter of her life. Later that month, Infanta Sofia made her own significant step forward. In an emotional farewell, much like her sisters, the young royal said goodbye to her parents as she prepared for an international flight to the United Kingdom. After sending their youngest off to college, King Felipe and Queen Letizia are now royal empty nesters.
Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you all to rise and drink a toast to their Majesties the King and Queen and the people of Spain.
One of the more unexpected but important of King Felipe's relationships is between him and his well-known relatives, the late Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. Though the King of Spain only saw his distant cousins at the occasional state banquets and royal visit, his respect for Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip is obvious in the words he shared after their respective passings. When Prince Philip died in 2021, King Felipe sent his condolences to the beloved monarch, whom he addressed as Dear Aunt Lilibet. He honored Dear Uncle Philip by writing, "We will never forget the moments that we shared with him and the legacy of service and dedication to the crown and the United Kingdom by your side."
The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon.
When Queen Elizabeth died in 2022, King Felipe expressed the way he felt about his late cousin in a letter to King Charles III, whom he addressed as Dearest Charles. The letter, posted on Twitter, honored the life of Queen Elizabeth and the legacy she left behind. He ended the letter by saying, "Queen Letizia and I send your majesty and the whole family our love and prayers. You are all in our hearts and thoughts. We will miss her dearly." King Felipe and Queen Letizia, along with other European royals, attended her funeral in 2022 to pay their respects.